In this video, I want to talk to you about array manipulation. And you might be thinking, oh, I know how to use a map and a filter and so forth. But I want to give you a realistic example. Like, let me show you. For example, we have data displayed in a list, like kind of in a table stroke list just here, right? We've got referrers, or we can pick locations, for example. And we've got the location, so you got GB and then a number, and then US and then a number. But in the database, that is stored as an object, not as an iteratable array. Here we've got countries, and then we've got UK and then US. So what I want to show you is how you can convert from an object to an array that you can then iterate over. But don't worry, I'm not going to go into an actual kind of code in the project, but we're going to make a real life example together. And there are different ways you can do this, and I'd love to know how you would do it in the comments below, because it's always super interesting and I'm always learning as well. This is the way we've done it on the project. We take the object keys of the countries and then we map over that, and then we do a sort afterwards. But when we map over it, we use object keys. So that will get us the UK or the US, and we use that right here. And then for the value, we actually go to the original object, use the key that we're mapping over, and then that becomes our value. Let me actually show you with an example. So let's create the data first. So if we just say constant and we say data, and this is the data, it would come from the database or from the API. So remember, it's an object, and then we have UK and we have a value. I'll just do 1, 2, 3. And then we'll say US and we'll have a value, and okay, it's given us 4, 5, 6. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. And we can pick one more. We can say, I was going to say FR, and it came up already. So GitHub Copilot and me are on the same wavelength. So now we've got an object. But we can't map over this. We can't do a loop over this. So what we would do here is we could say, okay, it's auto-completing for us, but this is not what we want. So I want to hit escape and go Copilot will go away for the moment. We're not drawing a graph yet. So we're not going to do a graph in this video either. Don't get scared. We are going to focus on the array, well, object to array manipulation. So next, what I would suggest we do is we could say, I don't know, result, for example. And what we want to do, GitHub Copilot is completing it, but I'm going to type it. So we're going to say object keys, and we're going to take the keys from data. And actually, before I do any more, maybe I'll put a comment in and show you what it looks like. So at this stage, it is going to be an array of the keys of the object. So that's basically the left-hand side here. And you can see we've got UK, US, and FR. And then after that, what we'll want to do is I could hit enter. It's probably not the best formatting, but it'll allow me to put comments in. We want to do a map. So next we'll do a map because we've got an array, so we can map over the country. And then from there, we want to return the object that we want. So it will be the country. And then the value is going to be of data. And we're going to use the key that we're looping over. So this line on the first loop round will be UK, and then the second time it will be then US, and so forth. And then this one, what we want to do is grab the value. But to get the value, we need to go to the data object, and then we need to pull out, I'll actually type in, UK, and then that will result in the value of 1, 2, 3, which will get saved here. So therefore this will output, you know what, we could console log it and run it, and let's have a look. And we could sort it, and you could do other things. Once it's an array, you can sort it. I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, why aren't we saving in a database as an array? And if you ask that question, that's a great question. And the reason why we aren't is we increment these. And so if we wanted to keep incrementing this and it was an array, say for example, let me say it was an array, I'll do it as a comment. If it was an array like this, which would be our resulting array, if it was array of objects and we had UK 1, 2, 3 and so on, well, it's auto completed it for us. Every time we wanted to increment it, we would have to do a find on the array to pull out that item. And you could probably do some magic with Mongo as well, but let's just keep it, mostly in JavaScript for now, we would have to do a find and then do an increment on that number. Whereas if it's an object, we can just say increment UK. It makes it a lot easier for the write. And for the read, it's not too scary, just kind of looping over that bit of data. Again, it does depend on your app where you want to spend more of the effort on the write or the read. It depends on where the intensity of your app. But that's a whole separate discussion. If you're making your app or certain API calls, or the way you're structuring your database, is it more performant for reads or writes? And you can have, the database kind of duplicated where one is focused on writing and then the data is manipulated and maybe flattened a bit more more efficient for reading. So there's different ways you can do that, but keeping it simple for now, this is the best way, which I think gives us the best of both worlds for reading and writing. So this is where we've done it. And then we can actually do a console log if you want. We can do a console log or result. And shall we run it? Let's have a look. So if I bring this down a bit here, if we go node video and let's see, and there you go, you can see we've gone from this object to this array, and that's it. And now on the front end, we can do a map in React or whatever front end library or framework you're using and map over that data. Let me know what you think of the video and the way we've done this in the comments below, and I look forward to hearing your thoughts. And don't forget to come and geek out with me on open source every day in the open source community EddieHub, and I'm focusing at the moment full time on the BioDrop project. Link in the description below. I'll see you there.